Hi everyone! Welcome back to Tenergy channel. Today we'll be unboxing and doing a flying test on the Syma mini helicopter. Let's get into it. This is what it looks like brand new out of the box. First thing you'll want to do is check if you have everything. Please know how it's packed. If yours is packed differently and missing some parts, the drone you received might have been a return or a used item. This could happen when buying it through a different retailer. You can contact our customer service team for replacement or assistance. The package includes one helicopter. Be careful when removing the helicopter from the package to avoid damaging it. The helicopter is secured by two wires. You'll first need to untie them from the back. And there it is. You freed your helicopter. This helicopter has two motors in the front controlling these main blades, and one motor in their tail rotor. It's powered by a 3.7 volt lithium polymer. You can see the part where the battery is up here. On this side is a charging socket with the CHA etched onto it. The other side is the power switch to turn the helicopter on and off. Next is the transmitter. It has the power switch right here. Another switch to select between band A and B. This one is a throttle stick to fly the helicopter up and down. This one is to control its direction, left and right, forward, and backwards. And lastly is the trim knob to adjust the helicopter in case it spins out of control while in the air. It also comes with one USB-A to JST2 pin female connector charging wire, one spare tail blade, and one user manual. Please be sure to read this before using the helicopter. Now that we got all the parts, let's recharge them. We'll start with the transmitter. It requires 6 AA either disposable or rechargeable batteries. You'll need a small Phillips head screwdriver to open the battery compartment. Unscrew it. And here are the 6 slots for the AA batteries. Make sure to insert them correctly, corresponding to their positive and negative signs. Now, close the lid and put the screw back on to secure it. You can test if it's working by switching this button on, and the green light is blinking now. It means it's working. It'll stop blinking once it binds to the helicopter. Speaking of the helicopter, to get the maximum flying time, which is about 6 to 7 minutes, you'll need to recharge it to full first. There are 2 ways to recharge it. The first way is to use the transmitter as a power bank to recharge the helicopter. If you turn the transmitter over, on the right hand side, you can find a little compartment here. Simply slide it out and there you will find the charging wire. Next, you need to connect this to the helicopter's charging socket. If your helicopter is on, make sure to turn it off before recharging it. Once it's connected, immediately you can see the transmitter light turn red, which indicates the helicopter is charging. The light will turn green when it's fully charged, which is about 40 to 50 minutes. The second way is to use this USB charging wire and recharge a helicopter through any power source that has a USB-A port. Plug this one into the USB-A port. Notice that the red light is on. Then plug this connector to the helicopter charging socket. Again, you need to make sure the helicopter power is off before charging it. And now the red light is off. This indicates the helicopter is recharging. This also takes about 40 to 50 minutes. Once it's fully recharged, the red light will be on to let us know. Now that the helicopter is fully charged, let's bind it to the transmitter. The process is straightforward. First, turn on the transmitter. Above the power switch, you have two band options to control your helicopter. Please note that the helicopter doesn't have a band selector, just the transmitter. If you only have one helicopter, you can select either band A or B. It doesn't matter, because the helicopter will automatically lock on the first frequency it finds. Then turn on the helicopter. And that's it. They are now bound and ready to fly. Some notes about flying location. This helicopter is designed for indoor use only, up to about 30 feet or 10 meters range. Flying outdoor under sunlight may interfere with the control system and affect the performance since the transmitter uses infrared control. We recommend finding an indoor area with enough space to fly the helicopter. Remove objects that can be knocked over like table lamps, flower vases, and so on. And be sure to turn off any electric fans if present to minimize any damage in case the helicopter crashes into it. Now that we've found a location, place the helicopter on the ground or any level base and turn the helicopter on. Now turn on the transmitter. Time for takeoff. Again, this throttle stick is here to control the drone going up and down. This one controls its direction. Push it up if you want it to move forward. Push it down to move it backward. Push it left to turn left, and push it right to turn right. In case the helicopter spins out of control, you can use this trim knob here to balance it. If the helicopter rotates to the left, all you have to do is adjust the trim knob to the right until the rotation stops, and vice versa. Now that the fun is over, let's talk about maintenance so that the helicopter can last for a long time. Don't worry, it's easy to do. First, after each flight, make sure to recharge the helicopter to full to avoid over-discharging. As you know, the battery may suffer from irreversible damage if it's left over discharges. The same goes for transmitters if you're using rechargeable AA batteries. It doesn't have to be after each flight though. Just make sure to recharge it when the power is low. If you're not planning to use it for a long time, it's a good practice to remove all the AA batteries and store it in a cool and dry location. And that's all you need to do to maintain it. For more battery tips and tricks, you can check out the link here in the video description. If you have any questions or video suggestions, please leave them down below. See you next time.